You're watching Cairo Media Network. Hello, Cairo Media family. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience with us is fruitful. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. And we do hope you consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
Hey, how are you doing?
Well, hello. Hi.
I am hi.
Hey, everyone. Just want to welcome y'all to the Walt Bay Connection. It is so great to have y'all here. We are going to get into some really good conversation about all the things that we have been working on. Today is a conversation all about vision. So Walter and I are going to have a good conversation, and hopefully y'all join on in and tell us a little bit about what you think and feel about what we got going on. Okay.
Yes.
Walter.
Absolutely. How you been lately?
So we want to give Walter just a little bit of time.
Can you hear me?
So we're going to start with just a little bit of a backstory to what this whole idea and topic is. Coming into 2024, Walter and I decided that we were going to make vision boards, right? And so we both challenged each other to go away and make some vision boards, so that way we could present it to y'all and we can just talk about some ideas.
Right.
I know for myself. For
yourself. Oh, well, for myself, so I'll go ahead and pick up where she left off. For myself, vision is important. It's definitely important. I've been in a place in life where I didn't have vision. I was in survival mode. And when I was in survival mode, all I could do function was or think about was my immediate next need. Okay. And I got there through different vehicles. One of the main vehicles that got me there though was frustration. Okay. And that's why I always tell people, even though frustration is a part of life and you will be frustrated, you cannot let frustration just dominate everything in your life, because when you're frustrated, you instead of you giving things the proper care that they need, and instead of you giving things the proper consideration and being able to, take a step back and look at the big picture, when you're frustrated, a lot of times you just make, harsh and brash decisions without actually giving things proper thought. And a lot of times, because when I look back on why I fell flat on my face, a lot of times the frustration made me make rush decisions and, pull fast moves. And that's what caused the bottom to fall out of a lot of things. And it could be frustration about a lot of things. This is why And I hope she's able to join. This is why I choose peace a lot of times, and then a lot of times I choose to slow down before I get so caught up in the rush of things. But before we get to vision, we got a few things that we need to cover this week. The first thing we need to go into is, are we back?
We're back.
All right, we're back live, loud, and as always, as T.S. Madison says, in living color. I like that backdrop. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. All right. I was getting ready to get into our class and our ass of the week.
Let's go.
Okay. So we have our first class of the week. And our class of the week is Representative. Oh, go ahead. You go. You added someone.
Oh, no, you're fine. So, okay. Surprise. I couldn't decide which one. Because in my book, they're both classes and they're both right now killing the state senate right now. They're just doing their thing. And I love that they're working as a team for change. So we have state representatives, Alexandria, and please forgive me, Cortez, because the other name in the middle, my mouth can't do that. And Jasmine Crockett. Both of these state representatives are young, they are millennials, and they are being very loud, proud, and brown. And so they came across my radar for the speeches that they gave. I mean, they're always just spitting fire. But there was a specific thing that came out where there was another state representative who is a white woman decided to use white privilege against a white man during her speech in the Senate. It was like, first of all, the fact that it came out her mouth, the rest of the world heard this. It was a shock. But what I really appreciated is that these two brown women did not let that fly. They did not care. They said, we will not stand for this. You can't use that word. You don't even know what it means, or that phraseology, if you will. You don't know what that means, and you're not even using it correctly because you need to apply it to yourself first. And so it was just dynamite hearing these two women speak up and represent, and the way that they're representing their states, their constituents, and even themselves is worth talking about.
Absolutely. Do we have the clips or?
Because talk about foreign money coming in. Have y'all seen the report that was just produced where this chairman decided that he was going to block this committee from receiving additional information about y'all's guy Trump and all the money that he took? From what we did receive, we know that Trump got almost $6 million that we can account for, and we know that that's more, that there's more there from China specifically. We found almost $8 million total that he accepted from foreign governments while he was serving as the president of these United States. But we're concerned about the president's son who has not been involved in his administration. I just want to run it back, though, to the very beginning, because this is something that I just can't get over. I can't get over the gentle lady from South Carolina talking about white privilege. It was a spit in the face, at least of mine as a Black woman, for you to talk about what white privilege looks like, especially from that side of the aisle. And let me quote your now ousted speaker and what he had to say about the Republican Party and y'all's lack of diversity. When you look at the Democrats, they actually look like America. When I look at my party, we look like the most restrictive country club in America. So let me tell you something. Y'all don't know what white privilege looks like, but I'm gonna show you a little bit of something. You see, you want to talk about a two-tier justice system, and this is the only time that y'all have ever referenced it, when this country has a history when it comes to Black and brown folk of having two separate sets of rules. And right now, what you want to do is have two separate sets of rules because Mr. Moskowitz offered y'all a fair situation. He said he would vote for Hunter to be held in contempt if y'all voted to hold all, even if you remove all of the members of Congress. There's still other people that y'all haven't decided that y'all have excuses for, but y'all don't want to hold them in contempt. But for some reason, it makes sense to hold Hunter Biden in contempt, who has tried to comply. And let me tell you why nobody wants to talk to y'all behind closed doors, because y'all lie. That's just the bottom line. You have done it thus far in this investigation. You have done it this far as it relates to this committee. And every single hearing, y'all spin. I don't know how y'all are still standing right now, because you should be quite dizzy from all the spinning that you're constantly doing when it comes to spinning the truth. You talk about free and fair elections, but you back a guy who we know tried to steal the election. And this isn't about what Democrats have to say. Let me remind you, for those of you that don't know how the justice system works, it's not a matter of the president went in and indicted Trump, but we are talking about grand juries. Grand juries are comprised of American citizens, and the people that have entered pleas of guilty that will be flipping on your leader in a minute, they are Republicans. I do want to point that out. And half of them were Republicans that were handpicked by Donald Trump himself. So, to be clear, whatever happens to your little leader, it's going to be because of the actions that he took. So you can talk all you want to about how January 6th was nonsense, but all of y'all were running at that time. Y'all were grabbing y'all's gas masks and y'all were running to your offices because you didn't know if they were coming to kill you. You should have cared that somebody was there to protect you, but instead you want to play games because you found out that it was your leader that decided that he wanted to propagate an insurrection on our country. So don't tell me that you care about the Constitution, because you don't. All you care about is Trump getting reelected, and I'll yield the last of my time to my leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to address briefly, quickly, that moment about privilege and all of this that we're seeing here. It was a very beautiful speech by the gentlelady, who, as she mentioned, was helped lead on the now majority side, the Civil Rights and Civil Liberties Subcommittee. But I think it's so exemplary of the point that she also oversaw the elimination of the Civil Rights Subcommittee on this committee, which really kind of gives the whole game away. We show up, we give speeches, we give flowery words, but at the end of the day, participate in the structural erosion of the rights and representation of people that are marginalized, women, people of color, people that just need to see their due process and civil liberties protected in this country. But I will move on. As also the Republican side had mentioned in their many raisings of the January 6th committee, that it's not just Hunter Biden, you, me, any individual subject to equal treatment under the law, to be held up to accountability under the law, but it is also these committees and this committee that is subject to oversight and law. We must comply with the law here as well. Now, I may be one of the very few people that actually believes in Congress, in this country, but I do, and many of us do here. And we have an obligation to engage in good faith participation to execute and comply with the subpoena.
Yeah. Yes. Come on, all the hair flip. I love how she flipped her hair right before she started talking. Wait a minute. I feel like that's the equivalent to taking the earrings off and putting the Vaseline on the face.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the equivalent. It's just the professional legal equivalent. Mm-hmm.
So, I like this for so many reasons. It's women speaking out and being strong and letting their voices be heard. I'm definitely, anytime Crockett hits the floor, I'm definitely paying attention now. She definitely has a one, even though I'm not in her area. She definitely want to support her here. And I absolutely agree with you. Crockett for VP 2024.
You know what? It's what I appreciate is how these women stay true to who they are. A lot of times as Black people, specifically, or even as Hispanic people or Asian people, they don't get to advance because we're told that we don't speak correctly, right? We don't get certain jobs. We don't get the promotion. They don't take us, to the business trips. But these two women have made it all the way up to being state representatives and are speaking out in these public spaces as political figures, and they don't sound like everybody else. They don't sound Eurocentric, but what they're saying is true. What they're saying is right, and what they believe in and who they're representing is very much so the driving force behind them. And so I appreciate who they are and them being who they are and making room for others coming after them.
Right. Absolutely. So big ups for these, for our class of the week. Now, we have an ass of the week. For every class, there has to be an ass.
Somebody holding down that back seat.
Okay. Now, this week, our ass of the week is Pastor Donny Reagan. Now, I was on Al Gore's internet, minding my business and a few other people's, business. And this video came across. Now, this is an older video. It's come to my knowledge. This is an older clip. But since we're talking about vision, I thought this could maybe contribute to the conversation, because this is how he frames the world and how he sees the world and how the world should be. And I think the only way this will change is if we challenge ourselves and our people under our influence to say things differently. Okay. Could you go ahead and play the clip, Apostle Kwame?
Donny Reagan of the Happy Valley Church of Jesus Christ in Tennessee just got voted the most racist pastor in America. And as you're about to see, that is well deserved.
It's a pitiful thing. Not holy, not wonderful, and everybody should do it. Friends, it's worldly. Why is it so many black basketball stars, black football stars, black baseball stars want a white wife? Why? Lord have mercy. It's another defiance of God's law. It is a worldly way. And then it creeps over into the message. Tell me what's the difference in preaching against bobbed hair, painted face, shorts, all this, that, and other, being worldly, and we let this worldly means come right in, and we're afraid to say one thing about it. And let me tell you right up front, any of you young people, you want to marry a black man, you girls, don't ask me to do it, because I will not.
Exactly. That face sums my whole thought about this video. Go ahead, sis. What were you saying?
I'm two things I'm confused on. One, why is he talking about why the black men want a white woman and not talking about why these white women are trying to climb these black men?
Huh?
Oh yeah, and their bank accounts. And then why also is he only talking to the women or the girls in the church? There aren't any white men that want to wrap themselves around a black woman.
Come on.
Because there's plenty of them that want to have a black woman's thighs wrapped around his neck.
Wait, what? I am with Dr. Holt. Can you put that comment back up, Bishop Kwame? He says, nah, it's the other way around. The snow bunnies seek out the black men because y'all got little dicks. Just put it out there. Allegedly. Now, these are conversations, Manon, that we probably can get more into detail because we have something special coming soon behind the paywall. We'll get into that a little later. Speaking of little dicks. Now, the reason why, go ahead and make us bigger. The reason why this pisses me off is especially when it comes to elections and voting and just living in America in general, a lot of people use their spirituality to inform the rest of their life. And that annoys the innermost parts of my asshole. You know, because somebody's going to take this, think this is a way of life, and now they're going to exacerbate it, and now they're mistreating someone. Not just I won't date you, but now you are a subclass of
Absolutely.
human
Absolutely.
because you and I don't share the same complexion, and I that's kind of, we got to change that ideology all the way around. Having pride in who you are and having pride in your ethnicity, you know, having pride in your, I'm black and I'm proud, but that doesn't mean I diminish and demean anyone else's right to exist and right to be beautiful and right to be, you know, who
Well,
they are.
I look at it like, and I feel like on the other side, we have a
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Umar Johnson, right? Who also speaks out about interracial relationships as a
Yeah.
Black man, right? And so, you know, you can't talk about one without talking about the other. What I have
Right.
an issue with is when people take stance in religious spaces like this, because it's very occultish.
Yeah.
When individuals decide that they dictate where love is and where
Yeah.
it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so whereas I may not be interested in interracial relationship, if you
Mm-hmm.
say that that's where you found love, I'm not going to stop you.
Not
You
one
lick
bit.
who you
Not 1
want to
minute.
lick. You kiss who you want to kiss. You procreate with who you want to procreate with.
Absolutely.
That's not anyone else's responsibility to dictate, from your family to your minister. And so when you have a person taking such a large stance like this, and he has the ear of so many people, this is very dangerous. It's very dangerous. And so I don't care one way or another about interracial relationships. My thing is having that amount of power over people's minds and
Mm-hmm.
perspectives, and you're speaking very dangerous things like this. And I could imagine him also speaking like this and worse in other spaces, because I feel
Right.
like he might have some white sheets that don't go on the bed tucked away in his closet. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. You know, and I also, this is this I think he's speaking about race, but this will also, I think, spill over into LGBTQ, into, you know, other things. And so when you turn love into the way you love is sinful, you're really being damaging to a part of someone's humanity. You
Yeah.
know, interracial dating is not something that I'm interested in. It's not. But I do realize that you love who you love, you know, and that for years I've had issues because of how I love and who I choose to
Yeah.
love. You know, and these issues were so deep embedded, I still encounter them to this day, and I'm free.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm free. Yeah. But anyway, so he's the ass of the week. He's the ass of the week. And any pastor that is preaching and teaching like him, they are also asses of the week. Left cheek, right cheek. Mhm.
Now, I do feel like there needs to be some caution in interracial dating, but
Okay.
I think that needs to be on an individual level. That's not for a
Case by case.
pastor or a family member to decide,
Right.
or the
Absolutely.
law for that matter.
I agree. I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, we've got our class and our ass of the week. Now we're just gonna take a peek in the pop culture, because y'all know I just want to take a gander. I don't want to see it all, but I just, you know, want to see a little bit of it, just a little bit. And I had to mention this here. This beautiful lady, I forgot how to pronounce her first name. It started with a Q. Manard's gonna kill. I'm not Manard. Kwame is Bishop Kwame. There we go. Quinta Brunson. I think that's her last. How you pronounce her last name?
We're gonna work on these names off camera, because we are the
That's what
worst.
we're gonna work on.
We are the
She
worst.
is the first woman since first Black woman since 1981 to win in her category at the Emmys this year. First one in over 40 years to win. She won Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series. And first off, let's give her flowers. She not only did it, I think she's brilliant. So
yes,
I'm not a faithful of Abbott Elementary School. I'm not a faithful watcher, but when I do watch, she is doing her thing.
That
okay?
show is phenomenal.
Great. I believe it. I believe it. But when I saw that she was the first one since Wheezy from the Jeffersons, I was a little annoyed because there have been so many genius African-American women that have come through here and wrecked shop. I mean, left no crumbs. And unfortunately, they were not given their just due. So what do we do to correct this? Do we give them all honorary Emmys? Does the Emmy, do they release a statement apologizing for discriminatory and racially motivated, voting? Because
what? You're trying to flip Hollywood upside down.
Well, I mean, because truth be told, if you have the number one show, you should not be losing, continuously to someone who is not producing on the same caliber. I mean, we're talking about Gina and Pam from Martin should have, received an Emmy. We're talking about the whole cast of Living Single.
Yeah.
And those are just two shows. The list could legitimately go on and on.
I mean, even Issa Rae in the past, 5 years with the work that she's put out.
Exactly. Tashina Arnold from Everybody Hates Chris.
Mm-hmm.
These are people who did amazing jobs on the screen, and unfortunately, the time has elapsed. Has come and gone. But hopefully, they're doing some course correcting, and this will not be something that will exist from this date forward, and we will now be able to celebrate.
Yeah,
our brothers and sisters.
My thing is just more people of color. There's,
Mm-hmm.
we had very few shows that were all Black cast or even predominantly Black cast. Only few were able to run at the same time. That was always an issue in Hollywood. But now we also have more ethnicities being represented. You got Asians, you have Hispanics, you have more people that are coming to the forefront. And so I just would like to see more diversity all the way around. I would like to see someone who is deaf win. Like we need to start seeing the others now being congratulated and supported and getting their flowers in real time for the work they put in.
Right. Absolutely. But in this moment, we want to celebrate our sister, Quinta Brunson.
There you go.
All right. We're getting ready to go to a commercial break. And when we get back, we are going to get into the things of the things. The things of the things tonight is vision. You need vision. It is something that is definitely needed in your life. Manal, say something about vision before we go to commercial break.
So the reality is that without a vision, we perish. We are the people. We perish. And so it's important that at some point in your life, you take the time to sit down and really think about what it is that you want, who it is that you desire to be, and take inventory of the people that are around you and the things that you are involving yourself in, and make sure that they align with what you see. And that's what we're going to talk about.
I love it. Take us away. Take me away.
because self-care should be luxurious. Luxem Noir.
Hey pilots, did you know that you can now catch the electrifying sounds of Bullet in Flight radio anywhere you go? Yes, you heard it right. Tune in to the high-flying beats and soaring melodies by downloading the TuneIn app on your mobile device. Just search for Bullet in Flight radio and hit play. It's that easy. And if you have a smart device like Alexa or Google, just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play Bullet in Flight radio on TuneIn." Experience the rush of adrenaline wherever you are. Listen to Bullet in Flight radio on TuneIn using your Alexa or Google devices. Soaring through the skies has never sounded this good. Don't miss out on the ultimate musical journey. Tune in now to Bullet in Flight radio on TuneIn and let the music take you on an unforgettable ride. Get ready to elevate your listening experience. Brought to you by Bullet in Flight radio.
How is everyone? Welcome back. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Whew. So, tonight we are getting into the things of the things. And one of the things that we're getting into is vision. Well, no, this is all you, boo.
Well, let's go. So, a few things that I feel like is important to talk about is just the growth of even our show.
Mhm.
Like when I see that opening now with our old videos and stuff from a year ago, 2 years ago now,
Mhm.
it is crazy to see where we are now, just as people, as co-hosts with this show.
Mhm.
I admire the vision that you had to even include me in this journey with you.
Aw.
Because you didn't have to. You could have said thank you, my dear, and then went on about your life. But you had the vision to pull me in on this, and it's been a great ride ever since. Just with my personal growth.
Mhm.
And so I want to thank you for that, being that person.
Aw.
Give you your flowers while you yet alive. So Walter, I have some vision questions for you.
Okay, let's do it. Let's.
Okay. Do you have right now today, January, what is it, 20th, 2024, do you have the same vision for your life that you had 10 years ago?
Absolutely not.
Okay. What about 15 years ago?
Oh, hell no.
Okay. What about 5 years ago?
No. So can I double back?
Yeah.
Now there are some things at the core, beneath all of the religiosity and that it's still a part of my vision. But for the most part, all of the pulp, the flesh, the fruit of it, no. But the seed of it still is kind of the same, yeah.
See, I love that you said that. And this is how I know it's spirit, because we didn't even talk about this.
No, we didn't.
Because here's what I learned about vision. Your vision is always connected to your purpose, right? We hear that. But your purpose is connected to who the spirit or God or Allah or Buddha, whoever it is,
Krishna,
initially formed you and it to be. And so you are constantly, as you grow and mature, getting back to your original purpose. Your vision is constantly becoming more clear, so that way you can get to the roots of why you are even here. So if you still have the same vision, the exact same vision from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that's also a sign that you're not listening. Your vision should absolutely grow and mature along with you. But like you said, the core of it should always be the same. But even more so, it should become more clear. The core of it should always become more clear.
Right. This is hitting home.
Okay.
This is hitting home. Yes.
Tell me why it's hitting home, Walter.
I'm going to tell you why it's hitting home. Because one of my visions is to educate and enlighten. Right? And of course, I did that as a pastor. So let's back it up. I did that as a choir director. So my rehearsals will be, a little different than usuals. Then I did it as a pastor. And then now I'm trying to do it in the internet space. So the core is the same. But the manifestation in my life has evolved, I'm going to say.
I love it. I love it. So here is, I want to walk everybody through what I got going on back here. This is not just wall art. This is actually my vision board. Oh, it's on this side.
Oh, okay.
This is my vision board.
He loves it.
And I'll share like the whole video on Patreon, Kwame, so that way everyone can kind of walk through the details of it a little bit more up close and personal. But I'm gonna move. Follow me. So when we talk about vision, we talk about a growth mindset, right? And so this is who we are when we first get here. This is us untouched, just seeds being planted, and then we have to grow into something, right? So here we have alignment, soul, spirit, body, and mind, right? Here's the trunk. This is what holds it all together. And so as we grow up, we have all of these things that we are to accomplish. And then every time we accomplish something, we grow a little bit more. So I like things that are interactive and fun, things that are tactile, colorful, bright, vibrant. We got a lot of details here. It's very natural because I'm a nature girl. But what I love is that as soon as I accomplish a goal, I can see my growth.
Okay.
As soon as I accomplish a goal, I can transform.
Okay.
And so my board is interactive that way.
I like. I like it.
I also have some goals that require multiple steps. So once I complete those multiple steps, then I've accomplished that goal fully, right? Because some things require a little bit more time, and we got to give ourselves that. And so I have a combination of things that I can achieve right away, and some things that may take multiple steps before I can achieve it. But I still get to see that progress, because after I complete a step, I can still remove the card. Right? So I got my weight loss goals up here, and then I have all of the other goals that I'm working towards mixed in through there. But why is this important for vision overall? Like we said, it's about making sure that we are in tune and we're getting in touch with the core of who we are. That is something that's interactive. That's something that requires intentionality. That's something that requires movement and patience at the same time, right? And so when I think about vision and what I would like to encourage other people to consider when it comes to their vision is that you can sit in a room full of people making a vision board, because there was a lot of vision board parties. I got about 4 invites this year.
Right.
But even in that moment, when you're sitting in a room full of people creating a vision board, it still should be very personal. It's a very personal experience, because only you can tap into you and get the answers for your growth.
I like. Now, what do you say to people who say a vision board should be completed in private or should be worked on in private?
I say to those individuals, that's your choice. What cracks me up is when people like try to make things a rule or a law or this like super deep thing. Some people are communal and some people are not. Now, what I would say is be careful about who you are sharing your visions with. And not because they're gonna steal it, but because not everybody can carry your vision with you. And even that requires you to listen and hear about who you need to be talking to about things.
When you say carry your vision with you, what do you mean? Elaborate.
So what I've learned about God, about spirit, is that there's nothing that we're supposed to carry alone. God, spirit is a very communal God, right? And so if we are to grow anything, we need support. We need water. We need the proper soil. We need sunlight. We need the birds to come around and help with pollination. We need the bugs. We need, right? And so nothing in nature operates in isolation, though it is an isolated piece. And so there are moments when, you absolutely need to sit with yourself as an isolated piece and get an understanding of your role in the bigger system, but that system still requires other people. And so you will always carry a vision with other people. But if you're not sitting and listening and paying attention, you'll be bringing people into your vision that don't need to be there with you.
I agree.
And so it's not about, not necessarily having these experiences with other people, because when two or three are gathered, there God is in the midst. And so what should be happening is the people that you're sitting there making those vision boards with should all have this mindset of getting in tune. Everyone should have this mindset of putting their hands to create a tool to help guide them through what it is that they're thinking and seeing, and needing to be revealed for their year, for action steps, right? And that should make it even better. But if you decide to just, make your vision board by yourself, go for it. Hang it up in your room, keep it to yourself, do your thing. But what I believe in is spirit exchange. And so I did my vision board in a group. It was phenomenal. We had our, R&B music going. We had some good food, and we had our corners, and we worked.
How many people's vision board was as intricate and detailed as yours?
None.
Yeah, I was thinking you would probably be the one everybody is whispering about. Like, I can't stand this heifer. This old show off. This
You
heifer
know
in here
what?
showing off.
So, but let me tell you, okay, because me being me, right? I've lived in this for so long, and I'm used to getting that response. So I was that person that actually wanted to make my vision board by myself. But I was encouraged to go on and be with the group. And I did that. But I knew, because I'm used to that response. I'm used to people talking about, I'm doing too much. I'm being extra. I'm used to that. But I didn't get none of that. I got
None of
all
it?
kind of love. No. And it was a group full of Black women. So that made it even better. Because all they wanted to do was understand what I was thinking when I was making my board.
So they talked about you at Denny's afterwards. No, I'm just playing. I'm joking. Yeah, no, that is absolutely, in my opinion, an amazing vision board. I like how it's interactive, how you can move the pieces when you accomplish a goal. I absolutely do. And I think it speaks the purpose, the root, everything's coming up. I love it. I love. So, I started mine. I have a digital vision board. Can you see that?
I can see it. Bring it closer. Zoom
Come a
in.
little bit closer.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So,
Okay, wait. Before you explain, I
uh-huh.
love that you did yours digitally, because here's the other thing about vision boards or mapping out your vision. You do
Mm-hmm.
it in the best way that makes sense to who you are, and
Right.
how you're going to function and flow for your
Mm-hmm.
year. It may be better for you to write it down. It may be better for you to paint on a wall. It may be better for you
Mm-hmm.
to make an actual board or use a digital app. So thank you, Walter, for being you and using a digital
Yes.
app.
Absolutely. And I just want to make it clear, because mine is digital, I can come for your neck when it comes to creativity. But I didn't know this was a competition. No, I'm just playing. Good evening, 20. Good evening. Now, my vision for my life, and I'm actively working for it, working towards it. And what I'm noticing is I'm going through a pruning process, because as you step into vision, you start to realize, like you said, who can bear it with you. Some people can't bear it, can't carry it with you. Some people are not qualified. They don't have the capacity to
Yeah.
understand what it is that you're trying to do. So when I get money, my money isn't just for me to sit up and be rich. I'm here to serve humanity in some capacity. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm always going to want in some way to give back on some level to humanity. And so it's a lot of times it's just pruning, and that was churchy. Pruning pruning these people who may be walking in with me in some facets of life. Sometimes it's pruning them away. And so the one thing I had to realize a few years ago is that the one sure way to help the poor is to ensure that you are not one of them. I had to realize a few years. Sorry, that was me. Is to ensure that I'm not one of them. So in doing so, I've had to change my approach to certain things, change some of the things that I, indulge in. And then I had to change some of the stuff I was aiming at.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
Aiming for,
Yeah.
sometimes in an effort to be communal with people, we aim low.
Yes.
And this is another thing that bursts that frustration I was talking about earlier in the video,
Woo.
because your capacity is not here. Your capacity is here.
Oh, Walter, you speaking. Hold
And
up.
sometimes, you're doing this because you want to
Ugh.
fit in with who you're around. But it's time to elevate. And this is where I'm at in life. It's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable as hell when I'm around people and they're asking me, why don't you just go work at a studio? Why are you trying to establish a studio? Why are you trying to train these? What's the big deal about training these sound technicians? Why are you teaching them this way? Why are you mentoring this one like that? Because again, my goal is to enrich our community. My goal is to hopefully give birth to the next generation of Black entrepreneurs that know how to get out here and get it how they get it, and elevate. And so sometimes it's just hard to elevate. And I had to realize, in order for me to mentor you, I have to have what you want, right? I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
I can't just make it sound good, but I have to actually have something. And so it's been me aggressively this year is me aggressively going after what I'm supposed to have so I can sit as that mentor. Because mentorship is the benefit of the head bump without actually bumping your head. So I bumped my head so you don't have to. And I want to give my mentees the benefit of all these lumps and bumps, but I have to actually have something in order to offer them. All right, that's all I have.
Yeah. What I love is you talked about changing the aim.
Mm-hmm.
And what I also heard was you got to change why you're aiming. Because sometimes it's not the problem of what you're aiming at. Sometimes the problem is your why. You know, I want to be successful because I got to prove my daddy wrong. I got to be successful because that my ex should have never broke up with me.
Right.
You know, I got to prove them wrong. You know, and so sometimes it's not even what you're aiming at. It's your why. It's tainting your mission. It's taking away from the positive energy and the positive law of attraction that you need to be radiating in order to get what you are aiming at, right? And that's not to say that spirit won't give it to you, but when you get it, you're not gonna handle it right.
Right.
Because what was going on inside of you wasn't healthy. What was going on inside of you wasn't spirit. And that's something that I had to learn the hard way, and still learning. I am not, there's so much healing that has to take place in order for you to get to a growth mindset. And then there's more growth that has to take place, and more healing that has to take place in order for you to actually start to accomplish things. And I would love to tell you that I came into 2024. I had all my shit cleared up. All my bills was paid. I had stuff in my bank account, and ever since 2024 started, I started saving money. And I would love to tell you that that's how. But I came into 2024 with so much shit, and I still have these things that I need to accomplish. And so, but what's being worked on right now is my why.
Okay.
What am I doing this for? Who am I doing this for? And that goes back to the core. Why am I here? Who am I to be in this day and time? And am I reaching towards the things that are actually going to fulfill that purpose?
Yeah.
Not prove anything to anybody, not help to feed into changing my perspective of the insecurities that I have, right? But actually get to the core of why I was sent here in this day and time. What am I to do, and who am I to be?
Absolutely. We're definitely going to have to dive more into this later on in a Patreon episode of the Walt Bay Connection Seduction. However, for tonight, we're definitely going to have to put a bow on this and, conclude this here. My final thoughts, and I'm going to let you wrap it up because this is your wheelhouse. My final thoughts is vision is a process. And when your vision is being realized, it doesn't always feel good, but you have to endure the pain in order to get to the pleasure. That's all I have. Oh, and follow me on all social media platforms, Walt B Connection. Go
ahead. For me, I think vision is so important because you have to take inventory of where you are. You give yourself grace for the things that you had to learn along the way. You give yourself a reality check for the things that you are neglecting to pay attention to. But you are also finding that fire again for moving towards better, and moving towards greater, and moving towards the core essence of who you are. And that's going to fuel the joy that's supposed to be springing up from you all the time. But so many of us are walking in this world without an idea of better for who we are or where we're going. And so if I can encourage anybody to do anything, is sit with yourself and tell yourself the truth about where you are and where you really desire to get to. And don't feel like it is mission impossible. Set realistic goals for yourself. If you don't have a job and you put on your vision board, you want to save $500 a month, that's still a goal. That may be a goal that rolls over into the next year, but it's still a goal that is achievable. But what are the steps between where you are and getting to that saving $500 a month? Because it's not impossible, but it is going to require you to show up for you.
Right.
So don't give up because of where you see yourself sitting right now. If I would have given up because of where I was sitting coming into 2024, there's so many things that I would not have accomplished. There's so many people that would not have my support, that I know I'm destined to help and support. Don't give up on yourself.
All right. But now, how can the people find you if they want to support you on social media?
You can look me up under Ms. Bay Windows. I am on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Awesome. And so we want to thank each of you for tuning in today. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. And we will see you next week on the Walt Bay Connection. Until then, we want you to go out and find your connection.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.